Hello, I'm Keith Orchison. Our guest today is Professor Chris Greig of the University of Queensland, and our topic is a new study on the Australian competitive energy market which has been produced by the university's Global Change Institute. I guess my first question today is, what is the key message from the study?
Keith, I think there's three key messages. The first one is that Australia's overall power system is neither resilient nor cost competitive, and it's gone backwards over the last 20 years, and it looks like it's going further backwards. This puts us at a disadvantage to other industrialised countries, both in the industrial sector but also in our standard of living. The second key message is that we need to urgently diversify our energy mix. So we are too reliant on an ageing fleet of carbon-intensive coal-fired power. And I think the third message is that there is no single clean energy solution available to us which is technologically reliable and cost-effective. So we're going to need a suite of different technologies if we're going to deliver this triple objective of security, cost-effectiveness and environmental performance.
Chris, one of the key points that's made in the study is the need for a fresh look at nuclear power. What's your view on this?
Keith, my view is that it's a strategic error for Australia to abandon nuclear power. But more importantly, so long as the debate is not even allowed to progress and it's not an option for us to pursue, we remain at least a decade from it even being a genuine option in Australia. That decade is the time I think it will take for us to do the necessary regulatory frameworks, the skills building and the community and stakeholder engagement that it's going to take for nuclear power to actually be a real option in Australia. So we need to embark on that now, and so that we can make investment decisions one way or the other about nuclear power in the next decade and beyond.
Finally, Chris, not surprisingly, a university study is going to focus on R&D. From your perspective, what are the key issues that have come out of this report with respect to energy research?
Firstly, Keith, I think for Australia, the R&D focus has to be on the enablers for large-scale commercial deployment. Technologically, I think that's around what does the grid system look like in the future as we see increasing renewables, as we see a shifting demand pattern in the electricity system. So the future grid, I think, is an important technological piece of research, and it has to happen in Australia. The second thing I think we need to do is enable those energy resources that are going to be important in a future energy system. Things like unconventional gas, geothermal energy resources. We have to find ways to make those more productive, more accessible. And the third thing is, I think, carbon storage. One way or another, this country is enriched with natural resources like coal and gas, and it's important for us to understand the potential for carbon capture and storage. So we need to characterise the resources so that we understand what is the scale and what is the potential and the cost of carbon geosequestration. And finally, the research needs to take on a multidisciplinary approach. The challenges for energy are not just technical, but they're social, they're regulatory, they're economic and they're environmental.
Chris, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We have been listening today to Professor Chris Greig from the University of Queensland. Thank you for your time.